What do you envision when I use the term bespoke jewelry? Perhaps you envision a very upscale studio, you are ushered into a private chamber by a liveried attendant, you serve fresh green juices, you serve avocado toast. Well, that's a bit too much, but let's embellish while we're at it. There is no ambient sound like this. Very chic, very private studio. You're reading the in-house magazine, which is always designed better than Vogue could ever be, and very, very engaging. Before said designer walks in, hair blowing in the wind, impeccably turned out, of course, and with their manicured, his or her manicured hands, he or she elegantly opens a drawer that contains gleaming, big fat jewels and various sorts of amazing jewelry. Or you could just have somebody with hands like mine, which are completely calloused hands. I don't know if you can see them. I have calluses right here, which are sad little working hands, and there's just me across a wooden table and you across the other side of the wooden table, and a legacy of over 1,000 years. We in India here have long enjoyed bespoke jewelry way before the West discovered tailored clothing, bespoke jewelry, as well as bespoke furniture that is catered specifically to the individual needs of a customer. From our obsession, our legendary obsession with gold, to the discovery of the Golconda diamonds in the 4th century, to the artistic patronage of the Mughal courts, our legacy of bespoke jewelry has been powered by an incredible ecosystem and a very, very integrated supply chain, and the very, very unique advantage of having craftsmanship at every stage of this supply chain. And this had happened way before we ourselves in India were bombarded by a culture of corporate retail jewelry stores. Which is why when you look beyond the Malabars and the Kalyans and the Nakshatras of India, you still have an incredible legacy of family-run jewelers across metros, small towns and even villages in India. And these jewelers, we are powered by a generational wisdom and understanding of material and technique that the most sophisticated corporate retail cannot bring, which is why it is important to note that bespoke jewelry is not just accessible in India, it is amazingly more inexpensive than it can be anywhere else in the world. Hi, I'm Aparna, a journalist, gemologist and designer here in Pune at Swapnanjali Jewelry Studio, and in this video I'm going to share my 3 hacks on how you can save money while making bespoke jewelry. Tip number 1. The most underrated bespoke jewelry hack that anybody can ever suggest to you is to take an audit of your existing pottery or your bank locker which has inherited jewels. I would suggest that you make 3 lists of the existing fine jewelry that you have. At list number 1, you have the items that you absolutely love and do not want to change at all, and you will possibly keep forever and ever, possibly have some high value or some high emotional value, and these are the items that would require just minor polishing. Your list number 2 is the kind of jewelry pieces that you want minor alterations to. Perhaps you want the central gemstone replaced or changed just because you want to refresh the jewelry, or you want to change the length of a chain or a pendant. And at list number 3, you have jewelry that you're quite sick of, or you've used incredibly, you've used a lot, so you want to completely melt it and convert it into lighter new pieces. Typically in India, we have at least a few bangles or necklaces that are really heavy traditional gold jewelry, and it just lies there in the bank locker. So instead of it just lying there, you have to convert it into lighter pieces that are wearable not just for you but for younger generations. Tip number 2. No, this is not a clever play on words or a fancy marketing gimmick, because intelligent design can save you a lot of money, and it's really unfortunate that in modern India and contemporary times, for a country that has such an incredible legacy of bespoke jewelry, we are so dismissive of design as well as karigars. If you go to your local jeweler, they will, like I said earlier, have the generational wisdom to understand just how thin the band of your ring should be, or whether the gemstone that you have inherited is actually a fake, and which gemstones should be used, or a combination of colored gemstones that will actually look incredible. And that is how a local jeweler can empower you to save money while getting something really unique that cannot be bought of a retail store. Also, don't get me started on people who are constantly ranting against making charges. I know there is this entire tribe of financial influencers on the internet who are constantly advising people on how they're being ripped off by jewelers for making charges. So my very polite advice to these people has always been, if you have a problem with making charges, that designers as well as karigars charges shared between the designer and the karigar. A very polite piece of advice: please buy a gold coin or please buy a gold brick, put it in a chain and just wear it. Do not pay any making charges. I am incredibly offended and cannot speak enough or cannot rant myself enough about people who have a problem with making charges and who do not want to pay for good design. Number three, and the final tip, and I cannot emphasize this enough, please experiment more with colored gemstones, because for the love of God, I don't know why people are so obsessed only with diamonds. Of course, I know it's because of this massive marketing campaign, but the moment you enter the world of colored gemstones, you're not just getting very individualistic jewelry that is very unique, thanks to a unique combination of colored gemstones, but you're also doing incredible saving on your jewelry, because a lot of colored gemstones cost way lesser than diamonds do. And here I'm not talking about the top three, which is your ruby, your emerald and your blue sapphire, often the yellow sapphire, but I'm talking about tourmalines, an entire array of tourmalines. The Paraiba tourmaline is a huge trend in 2026. There is also your amethyst, your aquamarines, one of my absolute favorites of all time, the peridot. There are your garnets, your citrines. There is such an incredible world of natural yet inexpensive gemstones that you can experiment with. And like I said, you can confer with your designer and think of a color combination of gemstones that is very unique only to you, and get an absolutely stunning piece of jewelry. Did you enjoy this video? If so, do subscribe to the channel and let me know what other topics you'd like me to talk about. I'll see you in the next time. Bye.